Hey everybody, we've come out to a cornfield, many cornfields to get here. We drove pretty far outside of the city and then just kept going. We're just fully on the side of the road here, but this, or more importantly, over there, is a state wildlife area where I can come to with that pass. And all those trees there are right along a creek that we are going to walk. We are going to get the camera ready. We're going to go see what we can see. It's different. It's new. Maybe we'll find something. There's a huge flock of birds as I was getting ready to set up this vlog shoot. Hold on. There's no zoom on here, but let's just wait a second. They're all at the top of this tree, and I'm sure they'll take off momentarily. Whether or not the battery will last. Alright, this is an angled. What are we trying to do, a Dutch angle here? I was just trying to show the large amount of birds. Any second now, they'll take off. Huge flock just came in. And then I'll explain why I'm not capturing it with the bigger lens. Alright, this battery's not gonna last, come on. Well, they didn't take off. Not in one big group. It was more several smaller ones and twos at a time. Unfortunate. But I was getting shot up to shoot another bit here, because now we have this. We'll talk more about this in the car, but I'll just do a real quick thing here to wrap up for the day, because unfortunately, after about an hour and a half, we're done. That's about it. We could go longer, but as you can see, I've done something different here with this camera. I haven't used this one in a bit, but we're back to using this for video. Worked great. I set up this whole configuration here. In addition to this, that's kind of what I spent the last 2 weeks doing, getting in pieces and parts that I needed that were new, configuring the whole thing. Once I got everything to the point where it would balance and it would work for everything I wanted to fit onto this kind of setup, I made sure it would fit into the bag, which was very important, and then it was in the bag until this morning. And what I forgot to do was charge all the batteries. I did charge a bunch of these batteries, which go in this camera that I'm recording off of, but what I didn't charge were things like this battery that powers all of this, or the shotgun mic, which has its own power supply, and that was this one we got about an hour and a half on today. That was pretty good. Got some cool shots. This one, nothing. Has been totally dead since the beginning. This wasn't even charged, or the vlogging camera that I just had in my hand, or the mics that I'm currently using and really hoping are recording. This one's closer to dead than the shotgun mic that's on there, but that's gonna do it. About an hour and a half. That's all we got today, unfortunately. It's okay though. Still a good time out. Let's go talk some more in the car. There's a truck coming. I hope I was in frame for all of that. I should have been back here the whole time. Could call it, or we could go walk a little more. Doesn't seem like such a bad idea. Why don't we walk the full length of this place, since I haven't actually been here before. I didn't quite park right at the parking area sign. I went a little further down where the ground leveled out because I pulled up onto here and, well, the car was just tilted like that. Not a huge fan of parking my car on such a tilt. It's probably fine, but anyway, I believe we just kind of stayed right here at this creek, picked a spot where we could see out on the fields, but we've got all of this, and I know it goes further down, so we're gonna walk it. And if we see something cool, I have a camera in the backpack that I can pull out and do, or we'll just walk. Looks like we can actually cross the creek, unless there's no trespassing signs. Wind is picking up. That's nice. Cool it off. We had a lot of rain last night, dumped over, from what I could tell, the whole map. So things are still pretty wet out. Did I say the whole map? The whole state? That was a lot of grasshoppers for a single little... You know what? I think we can tell from here. That is a fenced off little barn there. A little shed. It's red. It's cute. I'm not going there. Let's get back on the road. Right next to the cornfield. And a pretty large piece of machinery, which is cool. Some kind of farming equipment. Thresher or something. I don't know. I don't know farming equipment. But what I do know is that we're going to keep walking a little further. Nice. Deer tracks. Truck tracks. I don't know. I wonder if that's... I don't know enough about farming corn. If that's meant to be a track for them to bring that in, to bring water in as part of the irrigation, or if that's... There's literally just one track. I'm looking around, there's not another one. Oh, I bet those great big... Yeah, there's some way over there in the distance. I bet there's a tire on the end of those sprinkler systems that they use. It's getting muddy over here. Let's go over here. Lots of birds. Lots and lots. Big open field here. I'm guessing it kind of ends. The full map just showed a little square of this state wildlife area, which kind of makes sense. I imagine they donate a portion of their land, the landowner, and they probably get some kind of tax incentive, if I had to guess, for giving it back to the wildlife. Pretty cool. This hole right along the creek, you can hear a lot of birds in the trees. No shooting or hunting. Shunting. But it kind of comes in a big, like, the road's over that way. I don't know if you can see the red barn, but that's where I just walked all the way along here. You got corn right next to it. This is a good spot. There's nobody out here, which is great. That may just be this time of year currently. There's definitely hunting happening, despite all the signs that forbid it in certain areas. I see a lot of shotgun shells as I'm walking. But yeah, I'll come back here. Oh wow. I think that'd be lightning. Or there was just a fire. It didn't get all the way up around. Yeah. Plenty to see out by the corn. Birds will come and hunt near that. I think because we've got water. We've got trees, so there's shelter from animals, birds of prey. We've got a cornfield right next to it, so that would have plenty of food for everything. Birds that eat corn, birds that eat bugs, bugs eat corn. Seems like, oh, there's water, lots of water here. There we go. Seems like a pretty good spot. I'll be coming back here, I think. It's pretty far outside of the city. The noise isn't too bad. You get a bit from the rumble. We'll have to see what's around this area. I'll set up the GoPro out the dashboard, at the window on the drive back. We'll do a bit of that as we drive around here. There's industrial farming, is what I want to call it. Because there's a lot of equipment, a lot of buildings, and then the biggest cattle farm I've ever seen. Now, I grew up in the suburbs of Atlanta, so we didn't really have that much farming until you got outside the city. And you would see cows, and we would get excited and say, oh, look, there's a cow. But here, I mean, there's tens of thousands at this place I just drove past on my way in. It's a lot of cows, and you can smell it. That's for sure. So yeah, good spot. I'd come out here again. I'm sure that there are plenty of different kinds of birds to be seen here. Yeah. And deer. I saw deer tracks. Alright, I'm gonna walk back to the car and then we'll talk more there. That's what I was talking about. I don't know what you call it, but the thing that waters the corn. A sprinkler is what I would call it, but I'm sure there's a fancier name for the really big one. I never really thought about it because I've never had to do commercial farming, but I bet on the far end of it is a tire, and I bet this thing just makes one big swoop all the way through there, and that's where you get the tire track over there. I bet if I went all the way to this end, somewhere around here, you'd find another one. Neat. Now that's interesting. See way over there? Above the trees, there's something very tall and white. A building of some kind, but I don't know what or why there would be such a tall building. Yes, hello, killdeer. I don't know why there would be such a tall building over there. Maybe it has something to do with the farming. I'm learning, and you can learn along with me if you didn't know. I'm walking right along here, and look, same tire track. That's exactly how it works. The sprinkler irrigation system has a tire on the end, and it comes all the way around to here, and then it makes a big wide angle to go over there too. That's really cool. Now I wonder, it's got to have a motor in order to move it, and it makes more sense instead of putting it there, because then it has all of that it has to try and pivot. Physics. No, the motor's got to be on the end where the tire is. Huh. I'm learning. I didn't know that. I never considered it. Seem to be having more battery issues with these bigger batteries that I'm using for this camera, as I'm just set up here trying to record. Something is going on, and I'm not entirely sure why. Okay, we do have that going. That's good. Something seems to be draining the battery very quickly out of this. Maybe this isn't the highest quality battery bank. I was hoping it would work quite well. Maybe I needed to charge these batteries. Maybe they're reading fuller than they actually are. They have plenty of battery life, but maybe I forgot to charge those too. Maybe I forgot to charge everything today. Well, then very briefly, welcome to this. For the last, I don't know, year plus, all the vlog footage, everything has been recorded out of this, which works quite well for what it does. It's on a gimbal, but it's not really a full-size camera, which is what we have here that I'm monitoring. I don't know how well you're going to be able to say that because of the focus, but, you know, we have new equipment. We'll talk about it in a future video, especially since we seem to be having some battery life issues here. But yeah, I mostly talked about everything while we were out there. I've been learning about corn growing, I suppose. But mostly we went and saw birds. This was a new spot, never been here before. It seems really nice. I think there was a train this morning right when I arrived. I know there was a train because I got held up at the train tracks for a full 5 minutes. There was a lot of cars on that train. A lot of cars being carried on the train. They had those cargo, and there were hundreds of them. That's a lot. Anyway, that's not really the point, but yes, it's pretty interesting. I'm going to set up the GoPro here, and we'll do a bit more talking and driving. I was hoping to just let this thing roll, but since we seem to be having battery issues, I might not be able to just go the entire time. We're definitely having battery issues on all of our microphones. Thankfully, I am using the Lav, which is hooked up to its own battery and everything, and that has more battery life than I could ever need, it seems, because I'd only charge it every couple of months to make sure that it tops up, but it never drops. It uses very little battery for this. Most people would have a lavalier recorder and just use AAA batteries, but those don't last long enough to me. Those I've had die. I've never had a battery bank die like that. But anyway, I also have these hooked up to this for audio in order to make sure that's pointed at me, so we actually have something to sync to. That's regardless. That doesn't matter. I was going to have this thing set up so that I could get some footage as I drive while I'm talking, but it'll just be out the GoPro then. And we'll see what's around here, because there's basically just farmland and a killdeer across the street that is just screaming, as they do. I can hear it while I've been recording and getting this whole thing set up. I'm really happy with it. I hope everything came out. I do have, for when we're out moving around, the batteries that I mentioned. I charged up a bunch of these. They last maybe 10-15 minutes on the 4K, but I'm really happy about it. I got some B-roll while I was out there, which was the whole point of it. I've got everything in the backpack there. It's funny, didn't like the last few times I went out, I've been using the belt with the straps and having just tons of pouches and everything on me, and I went, oh, that's so much better than the backpack weighs on me, and now I'm right back to it. I can never make up my mind. That's really what we learn about all this, is that I just go back and forth between, it's a constant struggle between carrying everything possible under the sun so I can always have everything and never go, oh, I left it at home, and then getting out there and going, oh, this is hundreds of pounds and it's also heavy, and it weighs me down as I try walking. There's a swallow. I expected to see them out here because of the creek, and there were a fair amount of bugs. There they are. They're over here by the cornfield. Cool. So yeah, that was this place. This is great. Nobody out here. I'm going to come back. I don't know when hunting season starts. That's about the only thing that would prevent it, is that it's a very small place for that. But there's a lot of signs about where you can and can't. And I saw plenty of remnants of people who had been hunting, but maybe they were hunting into the cornfield. I don't know. Either way. And anyway, plenty to see out here, just not enough battery life to really capture all of it. I definitely started with some robins, and then we watched some mourning doves out in the field. The one thing, if anything, if there was just one highlight for the whole thing, there's a truck coming. There was just one moment where some kind of bird, and I couldn't tell what it was because, one moment. That one was going fast, dude. There's a sharp turn up there, too. Wow. I still don't see brake lights. There they are. My man, you almost got to the end there. Jeez, that was hard. This guy was flying down the road. There was a sharp turn right back there, too. How did he even get up to speed by that point? It's like a series of, like, here's a very sharp turn to get to right here on this part of the road. And then you go all the way to it. It's a very sharp turn. But yeah, there's definitely some commercial stuff. There's been trucks all day long. But besides that, and I started this out by talking about the location, there was a train. So that was right when I got here, I heard noise thinking, all right, well, I guess we're pretty close to a highway, so it's not that bad. This little 2-lane road here has had trucks on it all day, but that's a momentary thing where they go. But yeah, pretty good for what it is. There's plenty to walk all the way around the creek. We could get all the way down and around if we wanted to. The sun was shining in a way where I went, so it's coming across. That's not bad. That's good sunlight for seeing the birds that were there. I'll definitely come back. There it is. Whoops. I'm starting to pack up here so we can get on the road. But I'll definitely be back here. I think this is a good spot. It's pretty far outside of the city, so there's not, I expect, probably going to be many people out here, but we do have a chance to see some birds here or there. I also saw deer tracks, so
there's a good chance we could see deer. I think I've covered pretty much everything, and I'm just repeating myself at this point, so maybe it is time to go. I'll be doing a video sometime soon as I figure out. I'll have to, August is going to be a little sparse just because the reason I have a whole new camera here is because I have contract work to do. I have a fair amount coming in, which is why I went, ooh, money. I can spend money on things, and so we have a new camera. But that means I'm going to have to take probably 2 full weekends, depending on the amount of stuff that I expected to be coming in, that I'm going to have to do photography and videos on, and the videos are going to be more complicated this time. We're really branching out on what I've done, what is possible. Oh, we've lost one microphone. Do we still have this one going? We do. Okay. I gotta charge everything. That's the one thing we've learned from today. I hope the footage came out. I started talking about it. There was one kind of bird. I couldn't tell what it was, but it was up in the tree and there were berries in the tree, so I started getting at them. And I went, ooh, this is great. If nothing else, this is great. Hopefully that came out because we really didn't have the battery to see much else, but we did our best. We saw some birds out in the field. I thought it was very pretty standing by the creek. Very excited about the new camera. And yeah, I think that's everything. At some point I will do a video. That's what I started to say. Don't you love listening to one trailing, ooh, branching over here, and then you need to get back, but you forgot the thing to say to before? It's great. At some point I am going to do a video talking about all of the cameras that I have and what I use them for and the purposes and why I own them. I did one years and years and years ago about something like that, and I recognize that is... I've always been torn on it. Something I'll probably go into in the video is the fact that it's just so basic to just sit down and talk about what it is that you have, but everyone does it. There was a whole, I haven't seen it in a while, and I don't know if it's just because YouTube stopped suggesting it to me because I stopped watching them when I realized it was kind of the same, or if it's just geared towards that. I'm really interested, I'm ready to go. But it was like, what's in my bag was a whole, everyone made a what's in my bag video. And I went, okay, cool. I watched a couple and then quickly went, I don't need to see any more than this. This is neat. It's neat to see when I was starting out and I didn't know what kind of equipment, and there's just a huge open field of all that stuff. And so that's why I never really wanted to do another one. But I recognize this is far more than just your average photographer going out, and there is stuff here. And regardless of that, I do have to fight with myself between what I find boring and what I go, well, this is just overdone as a series. And then at the same time go, there is a non-insignificant chance that someone watching this video, these videos that I make, doesn't care about all that from other people and just wants to see what I'm using. And that's enough for me to go, well, all right, I'll talk about it. It's 50-50 for me. I really like going out and seeing the stuff, and I really do enjoy the camera side of it, the physical objects and having that stuff. So it's a neat thing to do. And that's gonna do it, I think, for everything that's happening today. On this Saturday, July 20-something, we're towards the end of July. 27th. I don't know why I bothered to look it up so badly. I put it at the beginning of every video, so probably not really concerned about it. There's another truck coming. Is that the same one that went flying down the road? Would you just do a real quick drop it? No, it's gotta be a different one. It's definitely a different one. Anyway, that'll do it from me. And there goes that. That'll do it for me. What you'll see on the end, and the outro of this video will be as we do a little drive around. I'll show some cool things that are there, but that's it. Bye, everybody. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, they've got big tires. Huh. Okay. Lots of them, too. That makes sense. It's not just one on the end. I bet there are different kinds for different applications. I bet there are. Anyway. Okay, big field. Yeah, here we go. This place will smell great. This is a composting facility? I don't know. There were signs, yeah, that one says something about compost on it. There are these giant mounds of dirt. I think they're mixing soil and manure and composting, I guess dead plants and things. I don't know exactly, but yeah, they've got huge, tracks of compost post there and machinery for it. It's really cool, interesting how they work on stuff like that. And then we'll come around here, get back to the main highway, take a right, and it'll be on the right-hand side of the road is all the cattle there. When we get back out on this main highway here, I have to maintain speed, so I can't really look too much, but I hope you're able to see out the side of like what's over here. There's a huge tall building, that white, and then look all over the ground here. There is the most cows I've ever seen in my life. Over there to the side. Just hundreds of, maybe not hundreds of thousands, but thousands of cows, easily hundreds and hundreds per pen. I'll try turning the camera a bit. I hope that works okay. I know that there's a column right there out the window, but yeah, just so many cows. I'll tell you what. Oh, I've got the AC going right now. Never mind. This morning I didn't have it going. I didn't have the windows down, but I had it circulating air from outside, and boy, did I smell it before I saw the cars. The cows, not cars. Oh, there's the smell. That's the smell of cow. Ooh, boy. Yeah, I don't know what they do in that really tall white building there, but there's something. All right. That's that.